Hi everyone, it's Karen the Geordie Grandma. I'm back with the 7 eBay sales. This week I've got quite a few auction items to show you. I've been getting some feedback on these eBay videos, and a lot of people have been saying they particularly like the ones that have got china and things like that in, so I've tried to put a few of those in this week as well. I'll get straight into it. First of all is this glass ship's decanter. I believe it's called a ship's decanter because it's got quite a wide bottom and it's probably less likely to topple over on rough seas. So it had a silver coloured top. I'm pretty sure it's not silver. I couldn't see any marks on it. I hadn't had it listed very long and it had quite a few watches. I think there was about 16 watches on it, and I'd originally listed this for £10. So when I saw the amount of watches that it was getting, I thought, hang on a minute. So I upped the price to 20 quid. And it sold maybe 3 or 4 days after that. Now, I got this in a bundle that I bought from my sister-in-law a couple of weeks ago. She used to do eBay and she used to buy a lot of things from auctions and charity shops, but she's since moved into, she started her own business doing craft fair event management stuff, craft fair event management. So she had all this stuff stored in a spare room, and I said, well, look, why don't I buy some of it off you? So she put a lot of the stuff together, and I bought the whole lot off her for £30. So I've put about 12 of these items that I got within those boxes. I've listed them on eBay, and I've still got a couple of boxes to go through. So if I divide the £30 that I paid her for these boxes by the 12 items that I've already listed, that would make it £2.50 per item. So I paid £2.50 for this decanter. You can see it's quite a nice thing when it eventually loads. Quite unusual. Got a nice little, it had a nice little cork top in there, nice little handle. So anyway, So we say we paid £2.50 for that. After fees, that was a profit of £14.27. Next is another little vintage kind of lot I bought. This I got from a car boot sale. These are 3 little brass pigs. 3 little pigs. They're so cute. I love buying brass animals. They usually sell quite well. These they weren't actually a set. The larger one looks more well made than the other two. The other two look more like little craft pieces. And if you can, I'll just show you the picture of the underneath. The big one is hollow inside, and the 2 little ones were solid brass. So they didn't come as a set, but I did buy them all from the same stall. I paid £3 for these, so the profit after fees was £9.89. Next up is this Franz Porcelain Cup. Now, if you've watched my previous eBay videos, you'll have seen the Franz porcelain that I picked up from the auction a couple of months ago. I bought 5 pieces altogether, and it cost me £56.34 for the whole lot. The Franz teacup came in a set with a teapot and a sugar bowl. Now, I've already sold the sugar bowl, and within that auction lot there was also 2 Franz lily vases, and I've already sold the small lily vase, and now the teacup sold. I've still got 2 pieces left from that lot, but the teacup went. I got an offer on this of £50, and as I'd put £60 as a really top end price, I was happy to take the offer of £50. It's a beautiful little cup. It had the teacup, the saucer, it was this butterfly design. It even had the little spoon that went with it. It's a very pretty design. So I was happy to see that go to a new home. I was actually surprised it didn't go abroad, but it went to London. So that was the Franz Porcelain Papillon Butterfly Teacup, Saucer and Spoon. I said originally when I sold the sugar bowl that the auction lot cost me £56.34, so I divided that by the 5 pieces that I listed, and I came up with the price of £11.27 per item. So this cup cost me £11.27, and after fees that was a profit of £30.83, which was a really nice profit, and I've still got the 2 pieces left, like I said. Next is another pottery item, not from an auction. This is from a car boot, and it is a Denby Regency green lidded casserole dish. When I get these things, I do some research on eBay so I can try and find out exactly what the colours are, you know, if there's a pattern, what the pattern's called, and so on, just because it's easier to list, and then if somebody's looking for that item, they can find it more easily. So this was a lovely casserole dish. I actually got two of them, both the same. I remember when I was looking at them at the car boot, I dropped my handbag on them, and I thought, oh God, I've cracked them, but I hadn't, so that was good. But anyway, I was going to buy them anyway, but I would have had to buy a broken one if I'd broken it. But they weren't broken. So it was two Denby casserole dishes. I paid £2 each for them. You can see it had a little handle, little black handle. You could put them in the oven. Obviously the casserole dishes. How are you on about, Karen? Had the marking on the bottom, and this one sold, I've still got one left, it sold for £15, so after fees that was a profit of £9.40. Next up is this picture. Now I think this is a rather ugly picture. It looked quite cheap and tacky. It came in the auction lot where I talked about, I think it was last week, where I'd bought a load of lamps. This was in that auction box. The frame looks really, it just looked cheap, and I was in two minds whether actually to throw this out, because the glass was a little bit loose in the frame, which I did mention in the condition. But it's a picture of a little Victorian girl curtsying, and I know this kind of thing is quite sought after by some people, so I thought, well, we'll give it a go and we'll stick it on. So I put it on for £10 and it sold. Didn't take very long to sell either. So again, with the other stuff I put on, I decided, well, I didn't decide, I worked out that this item cost me £1.84. So after fees, that was a profit of £6.11 for this rather nice, tacky Victorian picture. And apologies to anyone who thinks that's actually really nice. Next was another item that was in the bundle that I got from my sister-in-law. I think she actually got this from a charity shop. When I went charity shopping with her, I seem to recall her picking this up. But anyway, was now passed on to me. And it is a bundle of wooden dolls. You can see the dolls. And this is all the accessories. They are magnetic. So you can actually stick them to the doll. So it's got all of the little items of clothing. There's shoes, there's socks, there's handbags. There's all these little items that you can stick onto these wooden dolls, if you can see them there. They're really cute. I wanted to play with them, actually. I remember, I don't know if you're a similar age to me, you may remember the paper dolls you used to get when you were little, and you used to cut them out, and you used to cut the clothes out, and you used to kind of fold the arms back over the bit of paper doll, and you would dress it that way. But these would have been so much more fun. We obviously couldn't afford these wooden ones when I was little. I had to make do with paper. But yeah, it was a really nice bundle. It's $15 and all those accessories. I think it's even they had some mermaids in there. There's a dog. I don't know whether, yes, there's a cat as well. A couple of children, quite a few adult people. But it was a really nice set, and I couldn't really find anything else like it when I listed it. So I thought, well, I could find some newer versions of this thing, but none of the vintage ones, because this was definitely vintage. So I thought, well, I'll put it on for £30 and see what happens. And after about a week, I got an offer of £20. So I was quite happy to accept that. So again, for the purposes of working out a profit, this cost me £2.50 from that £30 bundle, and after fees that was a profit of £14.27. It's actually a little bit sad to see it go, because I would like to have played with it. And last but not least is, I'm not sure if this was vintage or not. I think it's quite an old set, and I don't think it's actually available anymore. Anyone who knows any better can correct me if I'm wrong. But this Lego Duplo Princess Castle that I picked it up at a car boot sale on a bank holiday Monday, the last bank holiday Monday, and she wanted £5 for it, and I thought, I paid the £5, but I thought, well, I bet you there's some bits missing, because it was all in the box. So when I got it home and I got it all out to set up, I was really surprised that every single piece was there. Even the instructions were there, and it was in such good condition. It's a lovely little set. Any little girl or boy would be happy to play with that. I got someone sent me an offer of £32.50. No, she sent me an offer of £35. And I thought that's a big drop from 50, so I went back and counter offered with 45, and then she came back with an offer of 40, which I decided to take because £50, I had researched it a little bit, but £50 was very top end, so I decided to take the offer of £40. And she said it was for a little girl's birthday, so I was happy to do that. I'm a bit of a soft touch. So that cost me £5. After fees, that was a profit of £28.57, which is again a really nice profit. So been quite a good week and all. I hope everyone else has had a good week reselling. Like I always say, if you are not a reseller, I hope something in here has maybe piqued your interest and you've thought to yourself, oh yeah, well maybe I could sell a few things on eBay. I hope you all have a good rest of the week. Enjoy any car boot sales you go to at the weekend, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.